Are you doing something you enjoy to do? Like happiness and fulfillment.
Hello and welcome. Gary Vaynerchuk, or Gary V, runs a successful company. He's an influencer, self-help business guru, motivational speaker, and hero to an army of aspiring entrepreneurs. He exists to inspire people. He tells them to work hard, that every minute counts, to live by the hustle. The quickest and easiest way to get to do what you want while paying your bills is to start sacrificing leisure and other things and start focusing on monetizing the things that you want to do in the future. Loving it leads to the most success.
Huge shift of technology and communication comes the greatest opportunity ever.
Gary finds ways of providing as much value as possible by taking questions about social media, entrepreneurship, startups, and family businesses, and providing answers based on a lifetime of building successful multi-million-dollar companies.
If you're lucky enough to have both, it gets really crazy.
Asked if he had to choose to be remembered for his philanthropic entrepreneurial advice or for building his company, which would he choose? He said, "It's funny, I'd probably pick the practical entrepreneurial inspiration." Gary V is more interested in admiration and legacy than in currency. He's not driven just by money. He'll take it as part of being successful in business. He's not against it, and he doesn't apologize for it, but he leaves an extraordinary amount of money on the table by not being selfish with the things that he's best at, and that makes him happy with who he is.
There's nothing you'll ever accomplish that's more remarkable than that you have a chance to accomplish something.
I think it was around the time I turned 30 that I understood that understanding people. I mean, I think that we're living through a period of time right now between Shark Tank, between, The Social Network, the movie, that people are confused and think that it's just so easy to build a business where you make $1 million a year. The top 1% earners in America make $400,000 a year, right? Like, we are not grounded in any level of practicality right now of what it takes to be the top 1% executor in America. You make $400,000 a year pre-tax. Like everybody, I look at Instagram all day long and there's people just spewing how easy it is to become a millionaire if you just sign up for my 3-course thing, or how, it's just unbelievable the lack of practicality. One of the reasons I like producing the content that I'm producing now is it's becoming very clear to people that it takes an enormous amount of work to be successful, on top of which you actually have to have talent. Being good enough to run a business or be an entrepreneur that has a successful business is a talent. The American culture is soft, and that's a great thing. That means there's been enormous amounts of prosperity, but let's not be naive. People literally complain when somebody gives them the wrong amount of extra cream in a Starbucks $6 coffee. We've gotten to a place where we complain, out of all those lovely things you said, as I stood there getting ready to come, the part that, and I'm glad you pick up on this, and not a lot of people have said it before, so thank you. My lack of interest in complaining is so high. And when I watch what people complain about, it breaks my heart because they completely lack perspective. And I genuinely believe my happiness and optimism comes from my perspective. Even in political unrest times like right now, a lot of people are very bent out of shape, but the reality is that it's just never been better to be a human being. That's just the truth. That's just data. That's reality. And it's just a very fun time to be alive. So much going on. The internet is starting to hit maturity. Look what we're doing right now.
Think if you guys just sat for 5 minutes right now you guys are at the top of the game. And everybody's like, well, you guys put in work, you gotta be patient, you waited a lot. No matter what, whether it was handed to you, you're only as good as your last at bat. You know what I mean? You're at the top one day and then you're not, right? You're the biggest comedian in the world and then you have 3 movies that blow and nobody gives a shit anymore. You're only as good as your last, I guess this is what I'm pushing for. You do you. I'm not judging. Who the hell am I to judge? Here's what I'm saying. You get one life. You've got real, this is America. And by the way, I'm not naive to like females, race, things like that. It's harder, but if there's anybody on earth that looks like you that's made it, that's like up here, right? And you're right, like big things up here, but like the practicality of making $5,000 to $50,000 more by understanding what Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube do, that's real. To make 10 million, to make 50 million, I'm trying to buy the New York Jets. Is that for everybody? No.
I am not interested in judging people's hustle. I'm interested in telling people how I've accomplished what I've accomplished, which is I don't think I'm that talented. I do think I've outworked people. I think that's real. I also think it's controllable. And I think anybody who's watching right now, they may not be the most talented entrepreneur or salesman or an amazing craft of content, but if they outwork somebody, that is a variable that feels in control. Somebody wants to start a YouTube show, if they do it 365 days a year versus somebody that does it 137 days a year, and they're equally as talented, the person that does it 365 is gonna win. I mean, that's just the truth. And it's the only practical advice that I think I can give. But, work harder and go to less happy hours and don't watch entire seasons of House of Cards, that feels real. And so, to me, I think it's amazing to take the whole month of August off in Europe. I think that's amazing work-life balance, and for many people, that's the right advice.